Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today I'm here to talk to you about laptop chargers. Now, we've gone a long way from the kind of bricks in the past to more elegant affairs, but there is another evolution of laptop chargers that is capable and possible thanks to USB Type-C and, more importantly, Power Delivery 2.0. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way, and we are going to take a look at what could be a modern future. That's it. So we've got a little bit to unpack here. So this is the Evatronic PD Pioneer, and it provides 65 watts of power delivery and has 3 ports, USB Type-A and 2 USB Type-C. And this is an unassuming little box, and we're going to unpack it and see what we get inside. I will say, full disclosure, that Evatronic did send this to me for review. Of course, my opinions remain my own, and I'm not accepting any financial compensation. Let's open it up and see what things look like on the inside. And there you have it. We have a very small little book of words here that tells us that the wall charger and user manual is included. We have obviously the charger itself, and we have the outputs on the back. Now, for those of you wondering the voltages, I will try to put that somewhere on the screen where you can read it. But essentially, PD1 and PD2 is a variety of different voltages, but it's a 65 watt maximum for each port. And then the quick charge USB Type A is 18 watt max. And it's really hard to appreciate the scale of this, I think. So I have 2 9-volt batteries, and if we kind of put them side by side, it's not too much bigger than 2 9-volts. In fact, it's practically the same height. And that is crazy impressive to think that that little thing could actually charge a laptop and 2 other devices. So what I intend to do is to use this for hopefully a couple of weeks and then report my findings. Obviously, you can tell from the size of the box that there are no cables included, so I have had to purchase some cables to try this out with, and I'll let you know how things go. All right, after using this for a week, I can begin to draw some conclusions on this rather easily. Before I do that, though, I want to talk about the GaN, or gallium nitride technology, that makes something like this possible, because this is small. You already saw earlier in the video how it compared to even the size of 9-volt batteries or other chargers that essentially have the same wattage. And here's what this actually is. So gallium nitride is a technology that essentially replaces silicon in how it handles power. Now, silicon is the kind of industry standard, if you will, for the transferring of electricity, but it is not the most efficient, which is one of the reasons why other chargers have to be much larger. That has to do with how easily electricity flows through that material. So because gallium nitride has a more crystalline structure, it allows electricity to move much easier. And because it moves much easier, there's less heat, and it's higher in terms of efficiency. Now, the heat is actually a major component on the impact of size. If you have a lot of electrical components that are going to heat up very quickly, then they need to be spaced apart, which means your charger needs to be physically bigger. However, if those temperatures are not rising, you can actually get away with a smaller form factor like the one that we see here. And that is exactly the reason that this is possible. We also have a material that, of course, is moving electricity faster, which means that your charge times generally are going to be a little quicker. And that's what I observed with this device. Of course, you will note, as we did when we unpacked this from its tiny little box, that there is no charging cables. So A note on that, I went onto Amazon and I bought myself a 2-pack of charging cables because I don't have a lot of USB Type-C. So I got these two because I think they were like $10 a piece. They were in like a pack for maybe $20, $22. And the one thing that you want to make sure of is that the USB Type-C cable is meeting the requirements that you want it to meet. So I knew I was going to be primarily charging with these, so I made sure that it had a ability to handle the power that this was exporting, if you will. So this is 65 watts, these cables are 100. So I knew that I was going to be in perfectly good shape to use these and get the maximum amount of performance out of this. But just be aware, when you are shopping for whatever cable solution you want to go with, that it is at least the minimum amount of power draw for the device. And you can spend a lot of money on the cables, so just be aware of that. Like if you want it to do Thunderbolt 3 compliant or Thunderbolt 4 compliant things, then obviously this length of cable will be significantly more expensive than what I've stated. And that brings me to my final point, which has to do with the price, because, you know, this sounds in all aspects like the better technological solution. So how does it stack up against, say, a OEM priced charger? Well, this is about 40 Canadian dollars. Those cables are about 20, so the maximum you might be expected to pay is $60 for a solution like this. Now, I could have bought one cable that was 65 watts exactly. That would have been probably a little bit cheaper. This I could probably get a coupon for. I think I actually saw one on there the other day. I could have been wrong, but you know, maybe I could get that price down to 50 or 55 Canadian dollars. And if you go with another third-party charger for 65 watts, they're going to be about that same price. But I was finding that some OEM products were a little bit more expensive, actually, than this solution, which I found a bit interesting. I made the assumption that the gallium nitride technology and the form factor would actually make this more expensive. And it turns out that that isn't necessarily so. So, just a piece of buyer advice there. If you are looking for a secondary charger or a replacement charger, and it is a device that you can power through USB Type-C, then the third-party market might have a lot to offer you. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed the look at this device. I'm actually quite grateful that Evatronic sent this to me so I could show it to you and just introduce myself to gallium nitride technology. I wasn't really aware of just how small these things really were. You hear about them, but I never actually held one in my hands and researched the technology. I had no reason to prior to this opportunity. So thanks to them for that. And just again, a reminder that they're not paying for this video. They just provided the product sample. My opinions are objective and as always remain my own. If you did enjoy this video, found it informative, maybe you learned something about gallium nitride tech, please like the video, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so the next time I feature a cool piece of technology like this, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.